Hello and welcome Summer 2019 Math Internet students. My name is Robert D. Giovanni. I'm the instructor for the class, and this is an orientation video that you're required to watch. It goes through and hopefully answers a lot of the questions you have about how this course is going to be presented to you, what the requirements are, and I'll try and keep this thing under an hour. We'll see how it goes. Let's talk a little bit about the expectations of the class first. You're taking an online calculus course, and in this case, this video is going to serve both my Cal 1 and Cal 2 students. So there are going to be small differences when I show you the little details of each class, but basically the overall expectations for both courses are the same. So taking an online calculus course in the summer, you're taking 16 weeks, a normal 16-week semester, condensing it into 8 weeks. So not only do you have a lot of material to do, your time restrictions are also going to impact whether or not you can do this successfully. So just to lay out how the course is going to work, I have made a bunch of videos on YouTube which are lecture videos essentially, and it's me presenting the ideas of the class. And those videos were done a few years ago, and it's me in front of a class and doing a face-to-face class. So when you watch those videos, keep in mind that if I tell them something about, hey, this is a take-home quiz or something like that, has nothing to do with you. What's most important with that is just the information. So you're supposed to watch these videos. So each video is an hour, 40 minutes long, and you'll probably be watching about probably 4 of those a week. So you're almost up at 8 hours there a week of just you learning the material, and then you have to go online and do homework. So all the homework and online exams and everything will be done on a website called WebAssign. So that's going to take you several hours also. So you have to ask yourself whether or not you have the time in your life for this. I'm thinking you need anywhere from 15 to 20 hours a week to commit to this course. 20 might be a little extreme, but to do it right, you need to be able to put in the time. So I realize a lot of you work, and a lot of you don't, really have a lot of time, but the expectation is that you can make the time for this. So that's the general idea. You will have to come on campus twice to take 2 face-to-face exams. Even though it's an online course, we're trying to maintain the integrity of the class, so we need to make sure you are the one doing the work. So those 2 online courses, I'll show you when they are and what time and everything else. So that's it in a nutshell. Let's get in here. This is the Northwest Vista main website. Want to make sure you can log into ACES, which pretty sure you can get to this point already. So you log in. It didn't ask me to log in because I've already logged in. So you click on My Courses. Make sure you're looking at the appropriate semester here. And here are my Cal 1 and Cal 2 courses that I'm teaching online. So let me just go to the Cal 1 class. And I think the first thing we should talk about is communication. Right now we are looking at what's called the Canvas page, or your Canvas shell for your course. And all communication that we have needs to take place here. Anything that you send me from a different email, your Yahoo account or Gmail, or if you send me a text from your phone, that is not official communication in this course. Everything officially has to be done using this inbox over here, and I'm sure you can figure out how to use this. You have a compose your message here. You pick your class. You pick me out of the list. My name again is Robert D. Giovanni. I think it'll say teacher there, and you can send me an email. So I'm going to expect that you can do that. And then also, if I send you an email, it should appear over here on the left-hand side. So please be aware of that and communicate with me using this means only. Okay, so let me get back to the course. What I'm going to do, we're going to look at the Cal 1 class, but I'm going to log in and make it look like student view. Right now it's in the instructor view. So I'm going to go to student view here. And this is pretty much what it should look like. So the first thing you should notice here is that there's a warning here that you have to go to WebAssign and be enrolled by a certain date. So like I said, all your homework and online tests will be done using a website called WebAssign. You have to go in there, get registered. You have to pay for that. and all of that has a deadline, or else you're dropped from the class. So I will show you how to go in there and do that, but just be aware that that warning is going to sit there the entire semester. Even after the due date, it's going to be there. So then you have a link to the orientation video, which is what you're watching right now, and then the schedule shows you, every day what's due. And then there's formula sheets, there's course videos, class videos. I'm going to take you through all that. I think the most important thing first is to start off with the syllabus. Your grades will appear here, but that'll come later. So let's do course syllabus. Okay, so like I said, you have to come on campus twice this summer to take your midterm and final, essentially. And the dates and times of these two tests are set here. You need to make sure you ask for time off from your employer. Whatever accommodations you need to get done, get them done. These tests are going to take place on Thursday. The campus is closed on the weekends. It's closed on Friday, so I have very limited time that I can put you there in a different day. If you do have any conflicts where absolutely there's no way you can get off, just read through this. We have to go through a formal process for you to request to not be here for those, and you have a deadline as to when you need to make that request to me. So please read through that. Again, my contact information, my name is Robert DiGiovanni. You can ignore this email. This is like in case this system went down, there was an alternate email. Remember, we're going to communicate through that inbox the whole time. But then very important here, I provide you my cell phone number, 210-273-1098. If you ever need any help with any math problems, just what I ask that you do is that first text that you send to me, make sure you include your name, what class you're in, and then what really works well with this is if you are working on a problem and you're having trouble, then take a picture of the problem, and then take a picture of your work and send that to me. And then I can get on my phone, I have a little stylus here, and I can write, I can underline like maybe where you made a mistake, or I can work out a problem myself and send it back to you. And this is very convenient, it's very fast. It's probably the most efficient way for you to get help from me directly. You can always send me emails and go to the discussion board and things like that, but this, I can take care of this when I'm sitting at a park bench in, Los Maples if I'm not even in town or something like that. So this is really useful. Don't ever feel like you're just alone. You don't have anyone to turn to. Okay. So also don't worry about sending me a text too late or too early in the day or something like that. I usually silence my phone at night when I go to bed, so you're not going to disturb me. Just send me any questions you have. Okay. Now, as far as the materials for the class. I've had a couple of students already telling me, hey, I already bought the book and stuff like that. You actually do not need a book for this class. You don't need anything physically in your hand. All you need is to go into this website called WebAssign. You go in there and you enroll, you pay for the access, and that will give you access to an ebook. It'll give you access to your homework and your online exams. So everybody has to do this. So if you've already purchased a textbook, I recommend you try and return it, or I don't know, you can keep it if you want, but you still have to purchase this access. I don't know exactly the cost right now because it always changes a little bit. I'm going to say it's about $100. I'm going to take you through the actual enrollment process so you can kind of see what you need to do to get access to that website, but that's all you need. Now, I kind of lied. You also need a binder. Okay, so this binder is real important. I don't have one with me, but I do have a video that shows you what a good binder looks like, and I can show you where that is in a minute. Oh, wait, there's a link right here. Okay, so this binder, what you have to keep in here is all of your handwritten work. Okay, so I would expect to see in there everything that you do on the computer, every homework problem you do. I want to see it written down. I don't want you to just go put answers in that don't have any work to support that. So you have to keep all of that in a binder. All of your exams, same thing, handwritten exams. Now, I don't want you to just print out the homeworks from the WebAssign website and say that's my work. No, I'm looking for handwritten work, okay, preferably in pencil. And then also, when you're watching the lectures to learn in the class, I would expect that you take notes, just like you would if you were sitting in a face-to-face class. So the third section of this binder must be your handwritten lecture notes. Now, it's really important that you understand that this is a requirement. This is not an option in the class. So this line right here tells you that if at the end of the semester, when I collect these binders at exam 4, the final exam, if you don't have a binder, everything you've done online is a 0. And that means you'll automatically fail the class. So I will actually physically go through these binders and I will check, and I will be looking for, do you have all your homework in there? Are your online exams in there? Did you take lecture notes? If all that's there, we're good. It's, I think, 5% of your grade, but if it's not there, you get zeros. So if I go in there and I look for your exam 3 that you did online, and you got 100 on the test online, but I look in your binder and there's like 1 page of just answers and no work, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to give you deductions. I may make a 0 out of it. I may turn it in from 100 to a 20 or a 50, but I need to see your handwritten work for everything. All right, so the binder, very important in this course. Please do not forget about it, because I don't want you to be shocked, at the end, be like, what binder are you talking about? So, and then also you need a calculator for the course. The requirement I have on the calculator is I do not allow you to use calculators that have computer algebra systems. So those are ones that'll take derivatives and integrate symbolically. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just text me or call me or something, and we can talk about whether or not your calculator is okay. Of course, you can't use a phone when you're on campus taking your midterm and finals, so make sure you have a calculator you're familiar with that you can use during the on-campus tests. Okay, so the description of the course, the objectives and the outcomes are going to be different between my Cal 1 and Cal 2 class, but I'll let you read through that on your own. Let's just get to the grade part of this. So standard grading scale, okay, A, B, C, D, and F. There's no other options. I have to give you one of those grades at the end. So the breakdown of the grade is as follows. The binder, as I said, is 5%, but you must have it or else you'll fail. I've already said that. Okay, you're going to do a bunch of homework assignments at home on the computer, 10% of your grade. So it's not a huge percent, but the way to be successful in this class is to do your homework like any other math class. You have 2 at-home exams. You have exam 1 you do at home, exam 3 you do at home. These exams you do when you're ready to do them. There's a due date, but you can do them early if you want. You just have a deadline. You have to finish it by a certain day and time. And those 2 exams together are 20%, so 10% each. So a lot of what you do on the computer at home really only adds up to about 30% of your grade. And that's just because when the student's at home doing it, there's no way of me even knowing who's really doing it. And so to maintain the integrity of what we're doing here, like what an online course is, the biggest chunk of your grade is this exam 2 and this exam 4. Those 2 make up a huge, huge chunk of your grade. So those you'll do face-to-face. You'll sit at a computer, you'll be in a room, you'll be taking the test like you would at home, except that I know it's you and you only have the resources in front of you. So that's the way the grade's broken down. Now, as far as exam 2, here's some information. This right here is information that I give my students. This is a basic layout of what you should expect. What you're gonna be bringing, what you should expect when you get to the campus. All of that I'll let you read through, and then also what you do after the exam as far as kind of checking out with me when you leave. So I'll let you read through that. I think what's more important is this: how to succeed. So historically, students always do extremely well with the homework they do at home, and that's because they're at home. It's a different environment. They have their notes there. They have examples that they've done. They've got all these resources there. They've got the internet. They've got Google. They've got all sorts of places where you can find answers to things. But then they come on campus for exam 2 and 4, and it's just horrific. They'll get hundreds on everything. Come to exam 2, and they'll get like a 15. And so what you need to understand is that the way to prepare for exam 2 and exam 4 is to practice your homework, the homework assignments that you have been doing on the computer. You need to practice those in a testing environment. You need to put your binder away. You just need to sit there with paper, pencil, your formula sheets, and try and work through these homework problems. Your exams the way I create the exams is I take your homework problems and I pick certain problems out of those homework sets and I put them in the exam. So there's never going to be a surprise problem that you've never seen before, but you need to be able to look at the problem, recognize what you need to do, and then execute the problem without taking 20 minutes to figure out what to do. So it's like problem recognition along with the experience of working through the problem several times. As long as you're doing that, I think you'll be okay. But you have to practice the testing environment at home before you come to the exams. I think that'll be the best thing you can do. Now there's some stuff here about attendance and about requesting extensions. I'm going to get into more detail about that later, and then there's a bunch of other stuff in here. And then there's a schedule. Now this schedule I have to put in the syllabus, but I have a better version of this that you can print out. So I think that's it with the syllabus. I'll let you read through it in detail yourself, but I think I've hit the main points there. So I'm going to go back to the home page here. All right. So let's talk about the schedule. I think that's the best thing to kind of lead us into how this class works. So you have your schedule, and I believe in my I can't switch classes yet. I'm still in student view. So here's the schedule for the Cal 1 class, and I'll show the Cal 2 the same thing. So that downloaded to my computer, and I'm going to open that up. And this is a PDF file. You can print this out. I suggest you print it out. This is it right here. This is the whole 8-week summer term laid out. Why is this not opening? Come on, get bigger. There we go. All right, so you can see here, the topic. So, and these things are blocked together. You can see the due date here. So these are homework assignments. And you can see you're getting started with WebAssign and the homework syllabus confirmation. Those are your first things that are due, and they're due on the 13th, which I believe is like the Wednesday? No, Thursday. That's Thursday. That's Thursday of the first week. You have to complete these two assignments. And then after that, your next group of assignments is due on the 16th, and here's what you have to do. Section 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So this means Chapter 1, Section 1, Chapter 1, Section 2, Chapter 1, Section 3. So you need to complete those homework assignments. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you complete the homework assignments? Well, what you're going to do is this. You're first going to go and you're going to watch, this is for my Cal 1 class, you're going to watch these course videos. These course videos will open up in YouTube, and this will give you a playlist. And so you can see here, Chapter 1, Section 1. You're going to click on that and you're going to watch it. The course video in Cal 1 is just an introduction to the section, talks about the definitions, the theories, things like that. Okay, so you're going to watch that video. Then after you watch that video, you're going to click on class lectures, and these videos are videos that I did actually in an old face-to-face class. So this is an older video, but it's me covering the same material. So anything I say to my students here, just ignore it, okay, because I'm talking to them directly. But here's where I'm going to do examples, specific examples, and get into the sections in a little more detail. So you're going to watch that. So you've got those two videos done. Now in my Cal 2 class, there's only one set of videos for learning, and they're called class lecture videos. I don't have the course videos for Cal 2. But it's okay, because in the Cal 2, I go through the notes in the class during the video, so you're not missing out on anything. So you watch the videos, you learn, and then you go try and do the homework. So let's go ahead and go to WebAssign. Let's see what it takes to get enrolled, and then I'll show you, once you're in there, how you would do a homework assignment. So to get to WebAssign, one way you can do this, go into the syllabus, and right here where it says materials, there is a link to WebAssign. So I'm going to click on that. Hopefully that will open up. It did not open up. Not sure why that link's not working. Okay, well, you know what? Let me just go to WebAssign this way. So if you just Google WebAssign, go there. There you go. Okay, so we're in WebAssign. So if you already have an account, you can just log in again. All right. Now, if you've never used WebAssign, what you're going to do is come up here and you're going to hit Enter Class Key. And then at this point, it's going to ask you for this key. Now, you can find this in the syllabus. So remember, right now I'm in the Cal 1 class, so here's the course key right here. All right? If you're in my Cal 2, don't use that. You have a different course key. So you take that. I'm gonna type that in over here. Oops. I'm just going to do it this way. Where's that? Okay, so this is again for my Cal 1 class only. Northwest Vista, and then 7704. I'm going to click Enroll and confirm that this is Math 2413, Section 9. Robert DiGiovanni, that's me, Northwest Vista College, and you click Go. Okay, so now this is where you go in and you actually set up your account. So you put in an email address and you create a password, or I'm sorry, this is if you already have an account. If you need to create an account, you go in there and you do that and create the account. Now, when you put in your information here, like your name and last name, use the same name and last name that you have in our registration system for Alamo colleges, because sometimes people have different last names and it gets complicated. Use the same. I need to see the same name in both places, or else things can get messed up at the end. So you go ahead and create your account, and then it's going to ask you to pay. Now, I don't think I can get to that screen, so just be aware that when it asks you to pay, I believe there's an option to do a trial access, which I believe gives you about 2 weeks to figure out whether or not you really want to be in this class or not. If you're waiting on financial aid or maybe a paycheck to pay for things, it gives you a little bit of a buffer there. So I recommend that you always just do the trial and then just wait till about 10 days in and then pay for it. Just don't let that trial expire, because then you have to recreate an account and it messes things up. So you go in there, you create the account. I really have not had students had any problems with this in the past. So create the account. Once you create the account, then you can log in. So I'm going to go ahead and act now as if I've created my account, and I'm going to log in. Okay, so here we go. Remember also when you come for exam 2 and 4 that you'll need that login information. So I know sometimes we have our computers remember our passwords and stuff. Make sure you keep that with you and bring it to exam 2, because when you come to exam 2 and 4, you're sitting there trying to log in and you're like, I forgot my password. Just make sure you have that. Okay, so your screen is not going to look like this. So let me go to my, I'm actually going to go to, I created a dummy course to look at. So I'm going to go to this class right here. And I'm going to switch to student view so it looks like what you'll see. All right, so here we go. So remember, you've watched the videos for section 1.1 or whatever it was. If you're in Cal 2, I think it's like 5.3 or something. So you've watched those videos, and now you're here and you're ready to do your homework. So the first 2 assignments here, remember on our schedule, were those ones that have to be done by Thursday. Those 2, the first one is just getting you familiar with WebAssign if you've never used it, like how you do exponents and fractions and things like that. So run through that, doesn't take very long. I will say pay attention if the computer is asking you for an answer to something and the answer is square root of 2, then it wants the square root of 2. Unless it says round to the nearest tenth, then it wants you to turn it into a decimal, 1.4 or something like that. Pay attention to those things because the computer will count it wrong. Just remember that no matter what happens here on the computer, if you have good handwritten work, I will always allow you to get partial credit or full credit for problems that the computer counts wrong. I mean, the computer is going to make mistakes in terms of being very picky about notation. So if you make a little syntax error on your answer or something like that, don't worry about it. We can always resolve that later. All right? I don't want you getting frustrated with the computer. Just worry about the math. Okay, so I'm going to go, I need to go to 1.1. But I actually put it in here in this assignment that 1.1 was already past due. So you can see here you have all your assignments, and I'm going to go to past assignments here, And you can see here that this one was ready due. So I missed the deadline. So what I can do is I can request an extension, and you can do this for all homeworks. I believe you get, I'll double check it, but I believe you get, if the deadline was today, I get up to 3 days later to request an extension. And then once I request the extension, I have 3 more days to submit it. So you can see here it's telling me, all right, you want an extension, fine. You're going to have a 10% penalty off of any questions that you didn't finish by the deadline. So if you did like half the assignment, but then the deadline came, if those half were counted correctly, then you're not going to be deducted any points. Anything you do after the due date, there's a 10% penalty on. So the highest grade you could theoretically get would be a 90%. So you accept the extension, and then from then you have 3 days to finish the assignment. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to request the extension. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to another homework assignment here. Let's go to 1.2 just so you see what this looks like. All right. Okay, so here it is. You know, here are the problems across the top, and then here are the actual problems. And you know, it's find the expression for the quadratic whose graphs are shown below. So you're supposed to type in, you know, your 2 functions here. Here's your little palette that comes up on the side. You can read it, which will take you to the electronic book. Let me go ahead and do that so you can see it. This will see if my Adobe works here. So this is the electronic version of the book if you needed to bring it up, and this is actually going to be an important thing for us. So here's the ebook. So it takes me straight to 1.2, and I can sit here and read about this topic if I want. Okay, so I'm actually going to move this. I'm going to go through this section. I want to get to the exercises because I want you to see something here. Come on. Oh, there they are. Okay, so here are the exercises. Now, so what I'd like you to notice here is that on this problem that I'm doing here, it says here SESS Calc ET2, and it says 1.2.004. Okay, that's an important part of this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that ebook, and I want you to take a look at we're in 1.2, and I want you to look at number 4, which corresponds with this 004. So this is telling you that this problem that you're working here is pretty much the same problem as the textbook problem that's in Chapter 1, Section 2, number 4. So there it is. Okay, you can see this right here is very similar to what's being asked there. And every single one of these problems that you're doing for homework, okay, is somehow associated with some problem out of the electronic book. Now, why is that important? Well, let's say you go in here and you put in an answer, you know, let's say you put in, I know this can be wrong, you put in 4, and then you submit the answer. And you get it wrong, right? So you can get it wrong, I believe, 3 times, and before it's actually counted wrong. So I could go back in here now, and I could try and fix this. Let me see if I can do this real quick. This is going to be x minus 3. Okay, let me submit my answer now. What did I do? Hold on. Oh, sorry. That's not going to be right because I need this point to be included. Yeah, there's a little more work that has to be done here. Let me go to one that's a little easier to do here. What I'm trying to get you to see is that if you do it right, then after you get it wrong, you get another try. If you get it right, then it'll count it right. So, yeah, I don't feel like typing any of these in. I'm trying to keep this video short. But okay, so this is the homework assignment. You can also watch it. Sometimes there's a video that you can watch that goes with each of these problems. Those videos are not done by me. Those are done by the publisher of the book. So if you watch those, then you know, just expect that it's not me. And then you can also can also practice another problem. Where was that? Let me see. Oh, you only got 2 tries at this? Why is that? Let me go up here. Okay, submissions. Oh no, you're supposed to get 5 tries, so hold on. Go back. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I had to type something in up there. So I can submit my new answer, I can save it and just come back later, or I can practice another version of the problem. So if I practice another version, this is a good way to get ready for the test. You can come back to your homework sets, and you can practice problems without it affecting your grade, which is really nice. So it'll give you regenerate a new problem, and then you continue to practice. Okay, so let's continue here. I'm kind of getting off track here. I've done this problem. Let's say I've gotten it wrong, can't figure it out. What about that number 4 and how it associates with the textbook? All right, so I want to go back to our syllabus here. Where is it? Okay, so let's go back to our home page. And in here you have homework solutions. So in Cal 1, if you click on the homework solutions, it's going to be me working through the problems directly from WebAssign. So these problems are like problems in WebAssign that I'm doing. We're going to have different numbers and stuff, little tweaks and changes in the problem, but basically the method is exactly the same as what you're doing. So that's really nice. For Cal 1, I have problems that link up exactly with the WebAssign. But I also have, down here, homework solutions for face-to-face students. So if you click on that, these problems are a little different. These homework solution videos are different. These, I don't have them for 1.1 and 1.2. I have them for starting at 1.3. If you look at this, for 1.3, it's actually me standing up in front of a whiteboard doing some answers.
And so we have a model.
But I want you to see that the problem I'm doing is number 1 out of the book, and I'm in section 1.3. So remember, I said that that little thing here on your homework was real important, because this number up here, you can associate that with that video that I was doing up on a board. If you want to go see number 4 being done, then you go through my homework solution videos for my face-to-face students, and you go find me doing number 4. And I'd say I do about 90 to 95% of the problems you do here I've got on video. So in Cal 2, it's a little bit different. The only difference in Cal 2 is that you only have 1 set of homework videos. So I think maybe I'll show you that. I know this can sometimes be confusing what I'm doing, but I think once you get in here and start doing it, you'll catch on. Okay, so leaving the student view. I'm going to go to my Cal 2 class right now. So you can see here, they have their schedule, they have their lecture videos. They don't have the course videos, they have lecture videos. And then there's another set of lecture videos just from a different semester. It's optional, you don't have to watch that. But here are the homework solution videos for my Cal 2 class. So this is me working through problems out of the book. So let's go in here, let's look at, I'm just going to pick 6.1. All right. So here's me working through some problems. I'm going to just jump in here. This is me working out number 13 out of section 6.1. All right. So my Cal 2 student, if I close this view out, the page. Okay, I'm going to go to my Cal 2 class. So when my Cal 2 student is doing their homework through WebAssign, I want to preview the assignment. Then what we're looking for, the numbers are over here on this side instead. Looking to see if I asked you to do number 13. Yep, right here. This problem right here. See this problem right here, number 8? It associates with problem 13 out of the book, which means if I go back to that YouTube video, So right there. This problem right here should be very much like that homework problem. So I know this is a lot to take in, but let me just kind of recap. You go to your schedule, you figure out what needs to be done. You go watch the videos that are like the lectures, you try and learn the material. You go to the WebAssign to the homework problem, you try and work those out. If you have trouble, you can, if you're in Cal 1, you have 2 sets of videos. You can go look at videos of me doing WebAssign answers, or you can go look at my face-to-face homework. Both of those will link up to your WebAssign homework. If you're in Cal 2, you have to look at that number and come over to these videos and find my solution here. I hope that all makes sense. If it's too confusing for you, then just call me and I'll try and explain it to you. But it's important because in theory, I have worked out all of the homework assignments for you in a video somewhere, or at least 95% of them. So if at that point you're still struggling, then I recommend you contact me and then I can help you out. Just take the time to go try and see if I've got a problem worked out, that if that'll help you before you reach out to me. Because a lot of times students will say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, I don't know what to do, and then I'm like, well, and I'll go find the video for them and then link it, send them the link and be like, hey, just watch this. So I want you to be the one who goes and does that on your own. Okay, let's close all this out. This is confusing me. All right, so let's go back to WebAssign. Let's close that out. And I'm going to go back to that dummy class. I'm going to switch to student view again. All right, so you're here. You've done an assignment. You move on to the next assignment, and then these are the due dates. So you can do these early. You just can't do these late. You have to get them done. You've got to get them done by these dates and times. Then you'll see here on-campus exam, okay? Now this is the due date and time. Don't worry about this because you're supposed to be on campus at 9 a.m. So this is just when it's due, but just ignore that. You also see an hourglass, and this one has an hourglass and a password. This one will have a password on it by the time you get to it. Basically that's just telling you that those 2 tests are timed and there's a password. You can't access those until I give you the password. So otherwise, everything else is not timed. You sit at home. You can start working out, any homework assignment or any online exam at home. You can save your progress, go to work, come back, finish it up. As long as you meet the deadline, we're good to go. Even if you miss the deadline, you can ask for an extension, except on exams. On exam 1 and 3, you cannot ask for extensions. You have to finish those on time. All right, so I think that gives you, I hope that gives you a feel for how this can work. Oh, the ebook. If you just want to go get to the book, here's where it is. You just click on it, boom, it'll open up the book. All right? Now, there's some other stuff up here, but I wouldn't worry too much about this because your grades are actually officially through Canvas. So even though grades will populate in here, I'll move them over to Canvas, and that's the official grade that you have in the class. All right, so getting back to this, I think we've been through the schedule. We kind of understand the lecture videos and how those work, the homework solution videos, how those work. Files, there's files here and here. Basically, files is going to take you to your formula sheets. Let's see, formula sheets that you can bring to exams. So for my Cal 2, you can print these out and you can bring all of those to both exams. And in Cal 1, you have the same thing. You have a set of formulas. You need to print those out and bring those to the exam. So that's your files. And then what else do we have here? I have a video here showing you what a good binder is. I have a video showing you how to request partial credit. Remember that after you finish an assignment in WebAssign, you can always go to past assignments, go in there and review the assignment and practice new problems. All right, it won't affect your grade but it's after the due date that you can do that. That kind of takes care of this home page. I also have links to older videos. If you're just interested in watching some of the same material just in a different semester that I did them, then you can watch those. The grades here, like I said, your grades will appear here at some point. The syllabus we looked at, files we looked at, discussion boards. So if you want to have a discussion with your classmates, there's no formal extra credit in this class. Your binder is really the only way you can get extra credit is by doing more, just kind of having a really good binder that's in really, really neat and organized. But if you get on a discussion board and have discussions with your classmates about problems, I will consider that for bonus. But you need to be like actively participating in it. You can't just go in there and somebody posts a discussion, you're just like, yeah, like you need to have some constructive dialogue between yourself and other classmates, or between me also on the discussion board, and I'll consider that bonus points in the class. And then people, that's how you can email other classmates if you want, or link up with them. And then that's pretty much it. Everything that's grayed out here you don't see. So let me go back to the student view here. Yeah, so this is all you got. People, student survey, that's at the end of the semester, you'll do a survey. So that is pretty much it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think I've run through enough for you to get into the class. Remember that you have to go register in WebAssign, and that your course key, that thing that said Northwest Vista College, is different for each of these classes. So this is my Cal 2 class. You can see that their code to get registered is also here in the syllabus. And it's right here, and you can see that's different than the one I typed in a second ago. So your task right now is to go get enrolled in WebAssign, do the trial access if you want for the 2 weeks or whatever it is. Get enrolled in WebAssign, do those first 2 assignments to getting started in the homework confirmation. I didn't show you, but that homework confirmation quiz right here, or homework syllabus confirmation right here, this assignment is just a yes or no. It just says that you understand the requirements of the course. You have to do this, and you have to click yes in order for you to progress through the class. If you don't agree to the syllabus, then I don't agree to have you in the class. So I need you to say that you understand everything, and then you can move on. So do those 2 assignments, and then start watching videos. And if you have questions, contact me. I believe that's it. So I have nothing else for you. If you have questions, just contact me. And I hope we have a good semester. I'm only going to see you twice. So hopefully I'll see you online, or hopefully I'll see you texting me for help and get to know you. You can also come by my office this summer and visit with me. We just have to set up an appointment because I have very limited availability this summer, but I'm willing to sit down and meet with you. If you're starting to feel like you're sinking or something, let's not wait too long. Let's try and hit things ahead of time. Get to it before it becomes a fire that's out of control. Okay, let's have a good summer. I'll see you down the road.